Hello and how's it going, everybody? It is Skullzi here with the latest gaming news, rumors, and speculation. I have a pretty exciting video for you all today as we have some huge Starfield community discoveries to break down. We also have some behind the scenes updates regarding Starfield's current development progress and some interesting information on Bethesda's Prey franchise and so much more. We have a lot of interesting stuff to break down in today's video, but before we get to that, a quick word from today's sponsor. Hey everyone, Skullzi here, and I want to talk to you today about Yahaha. I got tired of waiting for all these games that keep getting delayed to be released, so I just decided to make them myself. Yahaha actually gives me the tools to actually do this, and I didn't even have to contact the Dark Brotherhood or anything like that. It's all completely free and so easy to use. Yahaha is a new platform that allows you to create your own 3D multiplayer worlds. You can create any kind of world you want, and you and your friends can actually run around in your creations and take part in your own adventures. And no need to grind any programming or game development courses. You don't need any coding knowledge. You don't even need to know how to run online games or servers. With Yahaha, it's all built in and made accessible to you so you can focus on just being creative. As someone who loves to create game worlds myself, anything that lets me focus on a creativity and less on the monotony of menus and hard to figure out UI interfaces is a good thing. And the Yahaha user interface is clean and very easy to use, and it's all fast and responsive. And on top of all this, they even have a huge library with literally millions of ready-to-use 3D assets, all stored in the magical cloud up above, so you don't need to worry about having to store these assets on your hard drive as they're streamed to you in real time to your local client when you need them and when you use them. And when you're done creating your own world and adventures, you can easily publish your creations to the cross-platform Yahaha app just by clicking one easy button. Yahaha is also cross-play between PC and mobile as well. Use Yahaha today. Let your creativity run wild and download it now. I want to see your creations and maybe even join your worlds. Be sure to use my link down in the description below, and now back to today's content. To start things off, legendary Constellation Explorer and Starfield community member Oda returned from the great void of space with yet another interesting discovery. He found something that gives us a bit of insight into not only the main storyline of Starfield, but also some further information about the strange artifacts that we as the player are looking for. The very same artifacts that Constellation believes could be the next great step for mankind's progress and understanding of not only the cosmos, but of also mankind itself. This statement itself sounds grand and almost mystic, and when we take a look at this scene here of what appears to be yet another thing related to those artifacts, or maybe even another artifact itself, this imagery perfectly aligns with the philosophical vibe Starfield is leaning towards, and this also matches with recent statements from the game's composer Inan Zur, saying that Starfield's main storyline is very philosophical. And this is where Oda's discovery comes into play, as according to the actual internal Bethesda file name for this image, this place is a temple of some kind. This file name was accessed simply by opening the image from Bethesda's official website, as you can see up here in the file name for the URL. And while this discovery definitely isn't as interesting or exciting as, say, another official update from Bethesda, any information at all that we can find that helps shed some light on the mysterious main storyline of this game is always welcome, as Bethesda's only given us like vague teases and hints towards the main storyline, so we kinda need to find some more stuff out about this if we want to have any real idea of what we're going to be doing before the game releases. Let me know why you think Bethesda called this place a temple down in the comments below. And while on the topic of community discoveries, our next one is small but interesting enough that I still decided to include it real quick in today's video. This was discovered by the Starfield Alliance subreddit. In this scene here from the Starfield Summer 2022 showcase, within the Constellation building and through this window here we can see the Constellation garden area, and back there we can see what looks to be some kind of spiky ball plant. But this isn't just any spiky ball plant, this is Mr. Spiky Ball Plant, and Mr. Spiky Ball Plant is the very same plant that we can see here in this previously released concept art. While this discovery really isn't huge by itself, the main thing I want to point out here is this. Many were quick to discredit all of the previous Starfield concept art, stating that most if not everything seen in the concept art would not be representative or even included within the game itself. Yet Mr. Spiky Ball Plant is evidence enough that this isn't the case. Several details from the concept art, even small ones, are likely within Starfield somehow, and I challenge you all to try to track down as many as you can. Let me know if you find any down in the comments below. Another quick update before we move on to some Bethesda Prey information is a final Starfield discovery. Several community members have noticed that Bethesda Game Studios has massively expanded their internal QA team very recently, and I'm not just talking about job postings, but actual several new hires over the last few months. Normally I'd show evidence of this, but I don't want to showcase several Bethesda QA testers' LinkedIn profiles as I'd rather respect their privacy here. But this is a great sign for two reasons. One, Bethesda is massively overhauling and improving their internal QA team, meaning that this is a permanent net increase in their capability to fix bugs not only in Starfield, but also the Elder Scrolls 6, Fallout 5, and beyond. And second, this is a good sign as this shows Starfield is right on track to be released within Bethesda's new timeline, which happens to be the first half of 2023. With that being just over a half a year away, this is the period in time in which Bethesda really needs to go all out with bug testing and optimizing this game, especially considering just how massive Starfield is, not just only in scope but game systems, and also the fact that this is Bethesda's first game running on the Creation 2 engine. Our last update for today's video is a recently trending story regarding Bethesda's Prey franchise. This update comes to us from Raphael Colantonio, the actual founder of Arcane. Raphael left Bethesda and Arcane back in 2017 over creative differences and apparent issues Raphael had with Bethesda management and oversight. It seems Raphael had some stuff he wanted to get off his chest regarding Bethesda for a while now, and since he doesn't work for them anymore and hasn't for a while, he finally is opening up. This recent statement comes from the Game Maker's Notebook podcast. Video will be linked down in the description below. The Game Maker's Notebook has previously interviewed several noteworthy game developers over the years, including Todd Howard, and on August 29th of this year, they interviewed Raphael Colantonio. The entire interview was fairly interesting, but today I want to focus on one specific thing. Raphael states that Bethesda's Prey was never meant to actually be called Prey at all. It was never even supposed to be even a spiritual successor of Prey. In fact, it was originally supposed to be more of a spiritual successor to System Shock, if anything, and the original name was planned to be either Starseed or Typhon. However, Bethesda had different plans apparently. They felt like it would be much better to just use the Prey IP they have just chilling in their library and rebrand and market Starseed to be Prey instead. This seemed to be the final straw for Raphael, as he then left Bethesda shortly after this back in 2017. While I'm not one to focus on negative news, this definitely isn't super cool. Bethesda kinda took away someone's creation, a team's individual creation, and rebranded it as something else, and Raphael even said that he felt bad for the original creators of the Prey franchise. He felt like he insulted them by doing this, and he wanted to apologize to them, but he didn't have any direct way to communicate with them. This also kinda reminds me of when Akuma Nakamura left Bethesda. Right after Ghostwire was announced back in, I think, E3 2019, she suddenly left Bethesda, and Ghostwire was her passion project, so that was kind of odd. It seems like Bethesda was likely forcing her hand a bit back then, maybe like they were doing with Raphael Colantonio, but let's hope things have changed since all this went down. Seeing how Microsoft has bought Bethesda after all this happened, I think things should be better now, or at least here is hoping. That's going to finish up today's video though. As always, what I want to know is, what do you think about all this? Let me know down in the comments below, and be sure to like the video as that definitely helps the algorithm push the content to new people. Also be sure to subscribe and give the notification bell some skooma so you can stay in the know when it comes to the latest news. And finally, if you want to get a permanent featured video shout out at the end of every single one of my future videos from this point forward, consider supporting the channel over on Ko-fi, Patreon, or here on YouTube as an exclusive channel member. Links for all this and more are down in the description below, and as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in next time when Todd Howard has creative differences with all of his other clones.
It just works.